Welcome everybody to the very first episode of What I Read, or What They Read, what we read. Maybe you read it, somebody read it, but it's things that we're finding, maybe things we're finding on Reddit, things we're finding in the news, just fun stuff that we read. Maybe you read it on Discord, but we just want to share with you and kind of chat about it. A lot of these stories though are going to be things that I'm finding that I'm kind of just tossing out to you guys that I found interesting, or I just want your opinion on it. I know like Smosh and some other YouTube channels, they do like a reads Reddit type of thing. I'm a Redditor. I'm always on there. I mean, I look like a Discord mod Redditor, I would assume, but shocker, the dude in the D&D shirt. I wear glasses. I read. But I love going on Reddit, and I'm always like kind of cracking up to myself. So I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to do this for VCamp. I also do want to include like some news and stuff like that, and just because of how we're recording, it's not always going to be like up to date stuff that's happened. Like today, this isn't the national news network where we're like, oh, this just 15 minutes ago, breaking news. But I do have a story from a couple weeks ago, and this is actually about a TikToker. I don't know if you guys saw this. He recorded himself and uploaded it. It was deleted, but he recorded himself spraying bug spray on food at Walmart. This happened in like Phoenix area. I think it was like Mesa, Arizona. So I would say allegedly.
It sounds confirmed.
I mean, he recorded himself doing it and uploading it, but he's 27-year-old Charles Smith facing multiple charges in connection to the incident. And it's wild. Well, like, so they say he's a prankster. Like, is that
no, that's like causing, I don't know, man. This whole new generation of pranks on like TikTok and YouTube is just getting out of hand. Like stuff like that, you're affecting people's health, which you're breaking laws. Like you're doing this to potentially cause harm to people who purchase those like no, that's not a prank at all. That's just being an idiot.
I agree 100%, and which is weird because I didn't think we'd agree right away, but we did. But even like they're harming other people, but the pranks that they do now, like going into Compton and like trying to start a fight, you're putting your life in jeopardy. Your own life is so dumb. I'm gonna be honest, it's fun to watch.
Like
but it's
one guy
really dumb.
He's out of Sacramento, so like hour and a half south of me, who like he'll go to like Crip neighborhoods and wear all red, go to Blood neighborhoods and wear all blue, and he'll use the lingo and terminology, and and it's like
mess with them
to
whatever,
me, I'm like, this has to be a plant. Like it has to be staged. Like you're not going to tell me otherwise because I grew up in the areas where it's like you do that stuff even as a joke. Pointing to a camera and saying it's a prank is only going to make it worse for you because what is that to joke about?
Yeah, exactly.
Now you also have people on camera. But so according to court documents, he got a can of bug spray without paying for it, sprayed it on produce, rotisserie chickens.
Now, too far.
Yeah, so like he went there. I'm looking through all this. So one of the other pranks that I found, because I looked up this dude, he also went to a local laundromat. Okay, which also, you know, not everybody is you know, lucky enough to have their own laundry in their house. Whatever, you gotta go laundromat. Already,
not at all.
Not a fun
not
time.
One bit.
You're not going there because it's whatever. He went in and he put like raw bacon strips in like somebody's, just some random person's clothes, like the dryer, or like a thing of eggs. He opened up like a thing of eggs and just threw it into the dryer with people's clothes.
This dude is a horrible person.
Just being a stupid person.
I'm trying to refrain from using foul language because apparently it's an issue on our other podcast. But like, this is just the worst of the worst. Like, I wouldn't say the worst. I've seen.
Well, we will be saying asshole.
Okay, asshole.
By the way, but
he's a real duty muffins.
How very Canadian of you.
I think you should apologize.
Duty donuts.
So looking at that though, I'm like, did you ever see the prank the dude was like pranking people in the mall?
Yeah.
And got shot. They like ran up on this dude. Yeah, it was like a YouTube prankster. He ran up on him and like he had something playing on his phone, like he was messing with them to like touch him or something. And the dude
and it was super quick too. It wasn't like
that's what I'm saying. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, no, but like, and it wasn't. That's not even like it wasn't like a long range type thing. He just kind of pulled out and popped like quick. Yeah,
like, he was right on him.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if I can feel bad because you brought that on yourself. Why would you do something so dumb?
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the scumbag dad. So he's
the
like
name sounds
familiar.
he's this
Yeah, I was
like
like, the name
content
sounds
creator who
familiar.
literally his whole thing is just making fun of the influencers and the pranksters and like how it's all staged, and his whole thing is like make fun of the people like, oh, can you give me $1? I'm really hungry. Why'd you decide to help me? Oh, you might have thought I was just a average person, but I'm a wealthy businessman, so here's $1,000.
yeah.
It's
Oh
like
no,
he
I
changed
have
it.
seen that, dude.
I
He
seen
changed
that
his
the other
name to
day.
like his name Brad P, because he was saying he was losing out on like deals and stuff, because when people see the name Scumbag Dad, they're like, we're not gonna want to work with that guy. But he's so funny, and he
Yeah.
just makes fun of all those dudes, the pranksters, the trends, and shout out to him, man.
Bro, so when I think of pranks, I think of like coming up on YouTube, people that would put like baby powder on donuts
That's
instead of
still
like powdered donuts.
That's still messed
You know?
Yeah.
Or like they would put like,
Yeah.
but like it's something like it's a
Not
harmless,
for the
like,
person
they
that
take a bite, it's like,
yeah.
oh, it's
But
gross,
like
it's messed up.
pranking
But do you get what I'm saying?
But
You put like
there's
like your
mayonnaise in a shampoo
family and
bottle.
your friends and people
You
close to
know?
you, not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
harmless
But
civilians who are just trying to live their everyday life, man. Like that's
there is a guy I watch and I really like his stuff, and he's done some like pretty funny stuff. He would hire contractors to come to his house, and then his buddy would put makeup on him when they take the drywall out. Like the body would be there or in the freezer, or they'd take a picture of the contractor as they're walking through the house and have a frame photo. Like that's harmless. And what makes things better is they actually pay those guys for their time when it's done. He put a engine in a Tesla and brought it to a mechanic, stuff like that.
So,
So that I'm okay with.
Like that type of stuff, and I'm not like the most wholesome person. I'm not sitting over here like saying, "Oh, clutch my pearls."
But at what point
like,
is like too much? Just too much.
I'm cool, but like, did you ever see the people when like COVID lockdown was first happening? There was people like going through the stores like licking food items.
Yeah.
Didn't
like
Ariana Grande do that? Didn't she like go to like a local bakery and lick
she licked a donut, but that was before. That was before COVID. But like even when COVID first happened, I was like, this is a joke. And there was a basketball player who just finished an interview. When he got up, he touched all the mics. And I'm like, that's hilarious. But then everyone was like, this is a horrible plan. And like I think it was like a week later when everything got shut down. I'm like, maybe that wasn't as funny as I thought.
But there's a difference between that, which is like a harmless, like he doesn't, it's like whatever, versus someone opening the tops of like ice cream and they were like licking the ice cream.
That's not even like clever. The same with throwing the bacon and the eggs in the washing machine.
Farting in like Tupperware at stores and resealing it and putting it. Like, could you?
That's not even clever. It's not even clever. Like, be clever. I'll laugh, but be clever.
I mean, oh my bad. Sorry, let me. I put my fart away. I mean Tupperware.
Let's be honest. You paid for that. You ordered that one online.
I did. That just came via whatever Amazon fart shipping is. Okay. So we're gonna jump over.
Only farts. Sorry.
Only farts. There you go. Good. Topical comedy. Love my
comedy.
Right. So anyway. So jumping over, we're going to go to one of our Reddit topics. Again, this first episode, we're kind of just having a, proof of concept is the way I look at it, see how this goes, and see what you guys enjoy, see how we're feeling, how we're vibing with it. So a couple of things I've been looking at are like, am I the asshole? Am I overreacting? Yes. Things like that. So I'm kind of curious. And I was looking through a bunch of these. Yes, I am the asshole. That is true. Almost all the time. So what's kind of funny, the main reason I think this is funny, we'll find out after the fact, but I was looking through the Am I the Asshole stuff, and it starts out, English isn't my first language. I have two roommates who will call Isaac and Tim, fake names for privacy, who are brothers, okay? Occasionally, I would sleep with one of them. However, I had a huge crush on Tim because he is extremely charismatic. A while ago, I found out I'm pregnant. I've been sleeping with both of them regularly, but because Tim and I often don't use protection, I assume the baby must be his child, even though I did have unprotected sex with Isaac around the time the baby was conceived. I didn't want to be a single mom, and I truly love Tim, and I knew that he loves me back, so I decided to move things forward with him. We chose to get married before the baby is born. Once the baby is here, we found out it's actually Isaac's baby.
That can't be real.
Tim then himself doesn't seem to care, but my family has been blowing up my phone telling me that I'm an asshole and I'm committing paternity fraud. I don't see why it's such a big deal. The baby is his nephew. He should be fine with raising him. Is she the asshole? Now, Sean, you say this isn't
It's
real.
100% real. That's America for you, Canada.
I mean,
okay?
yeah, it's so not real that it's definitely real.
Well, so here's the thing. When I'm going through the comments, everything that I keep saying is everybody laughing when they're like, everyone's like, "Oh my god, I died at English isn't my first language." I'm like, why does everybody find this?
I don't know.
Funny, yeah. But we'll get to that in a sec. So is she the asshole? Sean,
I don't think so.
It could be one of two.
Right.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Sean. But if
sorry.
It can be.
Well,
one
no,
of
I'm
two.
saying like it
could
go either way. Does Isaac know, and is Isaac okay with the arrangement? If so, then no. But if Isaac doesn't know, and Tim's the only one that knows, then yes, she is 100%.
From what we know,
then
Tim
she's 100%
is the only one
the asshole.
Knows.
Because if some female had my child and was carrying it with another man, I don't care what their love is, whatever. That's still my child, and I want to know.
Well, so yeah,
I guess it's different for every person. I guess just the only way I can look at it is from how I'd feel in that situation. So
that just blew my opinion right out of the way, because I knew that Tim knew, and I said if Tim was okay with it, then no, she's not an asshole. Tim understands that it's his brother's kid, but he's still with him because he loves her. She loves him. But if Isaac don't know, and if she don't tell Isaac, then yeah, sorry, she's in an a-hole.
She's in the a-hole territory. Okay, so here's the thing. It is fake, and this is on me, okay? Because I'm reading through this, and I'm like, why does everybody keep making fun of her? Why does everybody keep saying, I died at English isn't my first language? I'm like, why? Man, these people are some assholes. Like, what is happening? So it is a variant of the Am I the Asshole subreddit for The Sims. If you have like Sims characters,
you're the asshole. The game The Sims? You're the asshole.
English isn't my first language is because they speak Simlish from The Sims.
Simlish is a thing? I don't know enough.
We recorded a whole album in Simlish for The Sims.
That's what's up right there, though.
All I know is Jim is from Philly and he plays guitar.
Second life. Second
life.
I was stuck on this though, because I read this like twice. I was so confused why everybody was like going in on it, because it literally, the subreddit is AITA, but then it's AITA Sims. So I just saw it. Am I the asshole? Like whatever. I was going through it, but I was like, you know what? It's still a good story, and I still wanted your opinions on it, because I'm like, man, that is some like juicy. That'd be on Maury.
Hold on, I'm going on Reddit and doing this situation as Am I the Asshole?
My friend.
There you go.
My friend
is my friend the asshole.
I'm the host of a podcast, and I decided
that's a harmless prank.
The inaugural episode. Harmless prank, yeah.
So speaking of kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say in the lines of a harmless prank, but like, what is the difference between art and comedy? Have you guys heard of The Comedian? The Comedian. It's a piece of art. You wouldn't know it by the name of it. I'm just telling you because that is the name of it. It is literally a banana duct taped to a wall. Have you seen that, Sean?
I've seen that, yeah.
Do you know what it sold for most recently?
I don't remember. I just remember seeing like a meme like this sells for whatever, and yeah.
Yeah. So towards the end of last year, and we had talked about doing these episodes previously, I've had this one in the chamber ready for it, because it sold for like $6.2 million. So there were 3 of these that were sold, but one of them, because there was a limit of 3, guess you can only get 3 bananas, but it was sold to cryptocurrency entrepreneur Justin Sun. Soon afterwards, he ate the banana on stage, comparing it to crypto, saying the real value is the concept itself. Now, this isn't the first time. There's been other people that have also eaten the banana off the wall. It's been replaced. They just replaced it with a different banana, and it's just like, oh, it's whatever. But $6.2 million then just ate the banana.
See, that's the Hawktua of art.
There you go. Okay.
So frustrating. Us as creators, we're coming up with creative ideas. This one girl gets interviewed and goes Hawktua, and she's out of nowhere the most famous girl in the world.
Also involved in a criminal.
Now this art.
Yes.
Oh
That is
yeah,
true.
yeah. I forgot about that. But
There's a
like,
lot of rug
at
pulls.
what point do
The
you
Pauls
take
were
that?
too.
And my other question is, at what point do you take that piece of art and make it into banana bread?
That's true.
You
There was a
Right?
the
dude
banana
that
bread.
ate it. I would have to go through these again, but there was like a student who ate one of them, and taped the peel back to the wall. And when they asked him, "Why did you eat it?" and he said, "Because I didn't have breakfast."
That's a funny. Actually, I know this is a little off topic, but I just heard a story today. My brother, who's a teacher, and he one time was doing supervision, and you're watching the kids in the hallways, and he had finished his banana, but he had this peel on, but he had to do supervision. He didn't know what to do with it, so as kids were walking by, he kept smacking kids in the face with his banana peel. He doesn't know, and now he's a principal. I don't know how he's reached the
Man, just
heights.
like
Yeah, every kid, he's like, the reactions were the best. Kids were like, what? My teacher just hit me in the
imagine
face
going
with banana
home
peel.
and telling your parents, like, "Oh, how was your day at school?" "Oh, well, my teacher hit me in the face with banana peel."
That's that's probably why he didn't get in trouble. That
I
never
swear,
happened.
my computer
I
had a
swear.
virus.
I was looking around the internet.
Okay. So sad. Also, one time, I just because that reminded me of another thing. One time, I went into DOS. It was messing around in DOS on my computer in high school, and they threatened to suspend me because I was hacking the computer, and I was
What's
just in
DOS?
DOS. It wasn't even anything.
Yeah, what's that?
I,
What's DOS? You're not
I
that young.
I'm not even gonna. You know the black screen? It's like the command prompt where like it. There you go.
Yeah, run DOS, run.
So anyway, I got threatened to be suspended for hacking because I was just in DOS. But anyway, moving on. I have another "Am I the asshole?" Okay. This one is a little different. This is an actual "Am I the
Here we
asshole?"
go.
Okay. So, am I the asshole for booking a hotel in the same area as my son and daughter-in-law's trip that we don't get to go on? My son, 30, and his fiance, 28, of 6 years, go on a family trip every year with her extended family. From what my son tells me, they travel to different locations and rent an Airbnb that accommodates the 30 people who attend.
Okay.
30 people go on this trip. For the past 3 years, they've gone during the holidays. As a result, we rarely see them. My future daughter-in-law and I have a good relationship, but I can't say we talk much. My son and his fiance are planning a trip in March for spring break, and I asked my son when we might be able to plan a trip together in the future. He mentioned there might be enough room at the house they're staying at, and I told him that that sounded great and to let me know the cost for everyone attending. My son, my daughter, and 3-year-old grandson also live with me, so we all plan to go. A few days later, my son told me we'd likely have to sleep on the couch or share one of the kids' bunk beds if they were available. I assured him we'd make it work, send him our share of the costs. I also told my kids, who were very excited, this would be their first vacation that's been more than a 3-hour car ride away. So this is like a huge deal. Last week, my son called and told me it wouldn't work for us to join them after all, and sent back the deposit.
That was the part I was hanging on to mentally. She's like,
when I asked why, he explained that his fiance didn't feel comfortable with us coming. She was upset because I didn't attend her engagement dinner last year to meet her side of the family, which she felt would make it awkward for us to then share the vacation rental. She was also upset that I didn't reach out to her directly to discuss joining the trip, leaving my son to relay the information instead. I told my son it was fine, but I ended up booking a hotel about 15 miles from where they're staying. I also told my son he didn't have to worry about making time to see us. Now, my daughter-in-law is upset because she feels that we're still somehow taking away from their trip.
no,
Am I the
100%
asshole?
not.
No, not even
Like,
a little bit. The daughter-in-law and the
here's the
son,
thing.
straight
Okay.
up, are the.
I might have a different opinion than you guys.
Yeah, Sean, you
Let
go first
Sean
because
go first.
I'm sure we
Let
both
Sean
have a
go
lot to
first.
say on that side.
Okay, here. Yeah, and it's probably. I'm a huge family man. I love being with my family. It was tough actually when my brother got married and he spent like Christmas with his like fiance and wife's side for 1 year, a couple of years while they were engaged, and it was tough on us. But we obviously dealt with it. That's you do have to be mature about it. But this situation, it was already basically set in stone. They were excited to go spend some time with their family, especially during the holidays. And for them to be like not comfortable with it, and then they never. The only question I have is why didn't she go to the engagement party? If there was some sort of like conflict there, but maybe she just couldn't do it. Maybe couldn't afford it. If this is their first non 3 hour vacation, maybe they can't afford to be going to these things. So, and then 15 miles away, and they said they won't interact, and now they're uncomfortable with them going. Nah, that's a load of garbage. They're not the assholes.
Okay.
So,
Chris,
I agree with what he's saying. My biggest thing too is that I don't believe that the mother is the asshole because it's solely on the son. The son was the one that was like, "Hey, we might have room." Oh, hey, like the son's the one being like, "Here's the situation." The son's the one that accepted the deposit in the first place without even confirming with the wife. That's on the son. The mother was just trying to be like I said, first time that the family was going on a trip over 3 hours. They're excited. They're looking forward to something. So the mother's thinking on the spot, this whole thing, the rug just got pulled out from under us. If they don't want us there, fine, we won't be there, but we're going over here away from them. It's not going to take away from the trip. It's not going to make anything different for them. It's only what's in their heads. And I feel like the daughter-in-law is being super fucking petty because if she was concerned on why the mother didn't reach out about going on the trip to her, why didn't she reach out to her? I mean, she could have. Again, we don't know the engagement party stuff, but I'm kind of on Sean's side. It very well could be. They just couldn't afford it. But I don't think it's going to take away, and I think the mother is just trying to hold up her promise to the family that they're going on this trip for spring break and stuff, and just...
So here's the thing, okay? So they've been doing this like 6 years. For the past 3 years, they've been doing it during the holidays. This, I think, was during spring break, okay? So this wasn't necessarily during the holidays. So I am split. I think there's a lot of at faults here. I think there's at faults on three sides. One, they do this trip every year and it's with the daughter-in-law's family. Like that seems like that is a set thing. So already, like I get it if the mom wants to do a trip, whatever, but they're kind of pushing themselves into that thing when it's not necessarily the son's trip. It seems like it's a family trip for the other family.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Then the son, if he did feel a type of way, should have said something instead of he's like, I'm looking at it from my perspective. If I were the son, I would feel like, oh, I feel pressured. So I'm just going to try to make it work. And then, so he should have just like either said,
yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
He should have either said it is or it isn't.
He's trying to make both people happy.
Hey, like, yeah. That's it. Because the mother wasn't even insinuating she wanted to go on that trip. All she was... Okay.
Well, hold on. Because she does say she's going to book this trip where they're going and then says, but you don't have to worry about seeing us. No. That is the hugest guilt trip in the history of the world, and that is asshole material. No matter how you want to spin that, that is some guilt, and that is asshole territory. I'm sorry. Because you can say, it doesn't take from the trip. If you book it 15 minutes, like where did she say? 15 miles from where they're saying, like you're literally in the same place. They're not going to be right there, and this whole situation occurred where obviously there's tension. And you're like, oh, but you don't have to worry about seeing us. Like,
well, here's
maybe
the thing,
asshole
though.
adjacent.
I would go with that more so than anything.
From a parent's perspective, okay, somebody who has kids, raised kids. If my son did that to me, I would probably feel some type of way, definitely. And yeah, I probably would be that petty because yes, it's an asshole move, but it's petty is what it is. Because my thing is, I've already got the other family. I've got them hyped up. They want to do something, and this little whatever Miss thing over here has beef with me. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you know what?
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Does she have beef with you though? That's the thing. We don't know.
What she said.
Well, she apparently because
she had beef. Like, did you do something?
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's the thing. The whole issue was because the mother couldn't make it to the engagement party.
I'm saying, does she?
Yeah.
But why? Also, can I add a piece of information to this? Okay, this was added after the fact. That's why I waited till after.
What an asshole!
It was added.
It wasn't
after
added after
the
you read the story.
So I should have noted my daughter-in-law's mother recently passed away. And since our relationship has been feeling more strained, I did not attend the funeral. And I did reach out to my son, but not her, because I didn't want to bother her. It's clear she doesn't like us much and is
I'm
bitter.
jumping.
Okay,
I'm
it's
jumping.
now, yeah.
Look, regardless of not wanting to bother somebody, a pivotal family member, one of your parents passes away. I don't care. Like, oh my god, bro, that pisses me off. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
That
So
changes the vibe. That changes the vibe. Now
It's like-
it makes me think that's what made me hold on so hard to that engagement party. I feel like you didn't go because you're like, you needed to be the attention.
You know what?
You needed to be the center of.
I like her, but we don't talk a lot either was mentioned. So there's
okay, I'm flipped.
We're obviously only
I'm
hearing one
flipping.
side of the story.
Yeah, we're hearing
so
one
obviously...
side of the story, but at the same time, with all that information, we're given so many sides because in the I'm putting myself in everybody's shoes here, right? And if I am the daughter-in-law and my mother passes away and I get the condolences from, her son and not her, I'm going to be like, that's nothing. Like, what? You can't be like grown enough to come to me, even if they might have issues already.
Now I got to switch back again. Like this is the second
over here, man.
Story in a row.
Well, and you would think she's saying noted the daughter-in-law's mother passed recently, which means it would have been right before this trip stuff occurred. So then on top of that, she's doing all this stuff with the trip.
Okay, I'm team daughter-in-law now.
I think it's both. I think both are assholes now.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of blame. I think spread the blame.
I'm not a fan of the mother right now.
Spread the blame.
In this situation, it'd be spread the cheeks.
Spread the cheeks. That's right. But also needs more info. I feel like we need more specifics on a couple different things. No matter what, there's at least, I like how Sean said it, asshole adjacent things on multiple sides. But I definitely think to have like a definitive answer, we need more information. But I still think regardless, even with more info, there's numerous people in the wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys got anything else you want to talk about with that?
No, that one pretty much got me
every
frustrated.
Which way on that, but I'm like more like, yes, the mother is the asshole, but like still there's wrongdoings by everybody.
Okay. I need the other side of the story.
So this next one, and this is gonna be our last one for the first episode, because I think it's gonna be a very interesting one. Okay, considering we met online. All right, and we, met on TikTok, but we spend most of our time on Discord, all that, right? This is an interesting story. This is from Am I Overreacting? Okay. Am I overreacting after I found out my boyfriend's online friend group I became a part of 2 years ago has been just him the entire time? I'd had the same face, Crispy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what does that mean? Okay.
Right now, I'm impressed.
I guess I should have been less oblivious, but since a little before we started dating in 2022, I was added to my boyfriend's just friend at the time 3-person Instagram group chat with what he explained were some of his closest online friends. The 2 other accounts seemed like real people because they had real followers and comments on their posts and drastically different aesthetics and looks to them. We eventually made a Discord server for us, and that alone was convincing enough since multiple times we'd all been active at the same time. We never voice chatted, but I used to never voice chat either, so I didn't think twice. The group got close though. As more and more time passed, I was first out of their group chat, and last month we got together and planned a research trip to Hawaii for August. We live on the East Coast of the US. Like, we booked everything. So they booked an entire trip to Hawaii. So imagine my surprise when I'm over at his house tonight and his computer is open and I just want to log into my Google Docs when I accidentally stumble across, first of all, follower bot sites and also him logged in and chatting with me as one of the individuals I thought I had become close with. And I just got this sinking feeling. I didn't jump to the idea that they could be fake either. I was like, maybe he just has their logins since they're all so close and, is just way too interested in their messages. But then I noticed their only chats were the group chat and the server. And the real kicker was the email address it was signed up under was his backup email address with his full name. I quite literally snooped until he got out of the shower and caught me, which I'm not saying was right. If I found that, 100%. I was looking, okay? But I couldn't help myself. During my snooping, I gradually became devastatingly confident that he wasn't just behind one, but both accounts. I've never seen his face so red, and he just absolutely panicked and started shouting at me to get out of his business. I couldn't even form the right words to say to him. In the end, I just walked out of his apartment sobbing. Very early in the morning, I get that, and he sent a message, but she's asking, is she overreacting? And we'll go over the message here in a second, because I want to tell you what he said, but I have a different feeling.
Can we just get all the details?
So what do you... No, what do you think about the scenario? Because the scenario and the message are two different things.
She's not overreacting one bit. This man created like alternate people that were all him. It's very
psychotic.
It's
2 years, she said, right?
Ray William Johnson did a story about a girl who moved away from her friends to go to college, but created fake profiles as boys to still chat it up with her friends and ended up dating those friends as those boys and hooked up with them. Yeah. So that's what this reminds me of. It's very psych. That's something we need to watch sometime. Some Ray William Johnson stories.
I do love some Ray William Johnson.
But yeah, Sean is.
I'm trying to think. There was another story that reminds me of this, and I can't think of what it is.
The life story of Sean Pittman.
Sean, what is your opinion on this?
I also, once again, have to agree with Chris B, or Chris, whatever you want to call himself these days. This guy's got 5 different people he calls himself. How many YouTube channels he got?
According to the newest Scaranoia, he is 2 different people. Canonically, he is 2 different places.
I have a friend who helps me with YouTube subscriptions. Is that psychotic? Here's the thing. For one, when you were reading that, I was impressed that the guy could create that many people and keep it going for 2 years. Maybe he started it and then it snowballed. Am I saying it's not psychotic? No. Am I impressed that he could do that? Psychotic people are pretty impressive people, right? Not
only did he have the Instagram chat that they kept up, then an entire Discord server that he acted as 3 different people
and planned the trip to
Hawaii together.
Maybe she was wondering why. How come I keep getting outvoted on the plans for the trip? All these 3 guys want to. She's not overreacting though. Absolutely not. If you're watching this girl who wrote that, if you're a girl, I'm assuming I'm one person.
The size of
kind
of
and
a half.
Yeah, I could. So hit me up if you want to drop down from 3 to 2.
Okay. So the text message is her asking him, I just want to know why. When it finally came to the Hawaii trip, how were you going to explain that? What were you thinking? He says, something I've noticed about you? You can never just be calm, and there always has to be an issue. I know you were raised in a volatile environment and still have to relearn a lot of healthy relationship dynamics, but it's like you only thrive on chaos. And we were going to see Wicked tonight. I guess there goes that.
Narcissistic.
And she says, you can't be serious. I deserve answers. I'm honestly so creeped out. Basically, half of my life for the past 2 years has been a complete and total lie, and you were behind all of it. And he says, okay, don't be dramatic. You know this isn't a big deal. You're just giddy to harp on this and make a bigger issue. So that's what I'm saying. This is not part of the am I overreacting?
Am I a psychopath?
This is entirely he is the asshole. There's so many.
The gaslighting, the narcissism.
It's gaslighting. Yeah.
If I could, I would go and punch all 3 of those
Luckily
guys in
for
the
you,
face.
it'd be just one face.
I'd beat them all up. That's right.
in Hawaii, but the Hawaii trip, I know, like, and there's an episode of The Simpsons, of course, I'll bring that up, where there's a Michael Jackson impersonator, and he's 5 Michael Jacksons in one, and he's got the rest of them on a stick. That's how he probably would have did Hawaii trip, like the 2 dummies.
I do love that before you brought up The Simpsons, though, you did mention that you are a Family Guy.
Yes, yeah. And anyone who needs to get that reference should watch Rank and Ray.
That's right.
Episode 2.
But I enjoyed this. I thought this was like a crazy story to end the show on here. I thought this was a fun one, especially with our background. But I'm like, I've portrayed, because in ours, I was portraying characters, and I'm like, okay, I've done it before for a very short period of time where I portrayed a character on top of myself that people didn't know was me. And I actually even did voice chat with myself. I made voice mod hotkeys so I could talk to myself, or at least have myself talk at the same time as always.
Maybe you're a psychopath.
So I'm like, okay, and I know how difficult that is, but I did it for, like, I had a reason. Like, what was his, like, what, there was like a whole thing for it, and it was part of what we do and whatever in that server. But like, what could have his end game been? What was?
Well, let's be honest. Each one of us in this podcast right now, we're a little psychotic.
This is next level, though, because also she initially joined a 3-person Instagram group, so he already had 2 other Instagrams going with followers and content and comments. And
how many other people does he have tricked?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there
needs to be a hotline, I feel like, how for this, deep man. Does the Let's well go back to old school days. Have you been affected?
That's what I'm saying.
By these guys?
Have you or a loved one been affected by this Instagram, dude? Do you
Goldstein and Schultz?
Do you or a friend have a Discord server with 2 people that are 3 people that is 1 person? But it's wild. I couldn't even imagine. And then, so already it would mess me up, just the scenario. But then to get that response, I would be enraged. I would lose my mind.
He clearly doesn't give a crap, and he had this in the holster ready to go.
He's a narcissist. Like, there's no other way, bro. The gaslighting was like baffling, because the dude's like, oh, well, throwing stuff in her face about her past relationships. Bro, he preyed on that. He 100% preyed on that, and knew that at some point he was going to be able to throw that at her.
Well, at least he's religious.
And which one of the 3 did she tell about the past history?
That's true. I'm curious. Like, I have so many questions about, like, what did you say? Like, what if she would have been cheating? Oh,
he would have used that. He would have used.
You know, like,
what if he wouldn't? I guarantee he wouldn't have said anything in that moment. But the moment she found out about the other profiles, then
he's Thomas.
I'm saying, was he trying? Like, was he like?
He's Thomas, and the guy she cheated on is Isaac. That's what
he was. And that's why she left sobbing.
Tim.
Like, maybe there's a little more to it. Maybe she was getting a little. Because, I mean, what?
Don't turn this on her.
I'm not.
Okay? Don't gaslight.
I'm not switching this. For this one, I'm not switching.
The conspiracy theories building up. That's all it was. I'm not victim blaming at all. She's 100% not overreacting. Sure. He's 100% a psychopath. And an asshole. Very much an asshole.
No. If he makes an am I the asshole? Yes, you are the asshole.
Without a doubt. Undeniably, unequivocally,
but
indubitably.
You know what I know for sure? Chris, Sean, you guys are not the asshole. Thank you for doing this first episode with me. Did you guys enjoy this? Did you have a good time? Do you think
this was a lot of fun? I like how you play with our minds, and then we had to switch back and forth a few times. You're also not an asshole, even though we said it.
Yeah. Thank you. Preach. I'll try as hard as I can to make
asshole adjacent.
Yes, I'll make you try to change your mind. Hopefully you as well enjoyed this, and maybe you are an asshole. Depends on the comments you leave for us.
If you don't leave a comment or subscribe,
you
are an asshole. But you can change that.
Yeah, like if you want to prove you're not an asshole, subscribe. Hey.
People who aren't watching, take that.
Yeah, suck on that, not watchers.
No.
But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Submit some stories to us. Are you a Redditor? Are you a person who is 3 people in a coat in a Discord server with someone else? Let us know. Send us your stuff. Send us some news stories. And let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the format. We'll be back next week.